Over the last few months, we've seen several major sporting events held in Canada where they play the United States national anthem, the Star-Spangled Banner. And because some Canadians are so upset with President Trump, they decide to boo our national anthem. Well, when that happened at a WWE pay-per-view Elimination Chamber just a few days ago, Pat McAfee, who not only works for ESPN, but also is a commentator at WWE, he decided to sound off on that. Canadian WWE fans boo the Star-Spangled Banner, setting off host Pat McAfee, terrible country. And this was the clip that came out of that. Pat McAfee was not happy with the Canadian crowd booing the U.S. national anthem.
These are the most stacked elimination chambers that the WWE has ever had. Kind of sucks that it's in the terrible country of Canada that booed our national anthem. Just not this entire thing, but it's going to be a historic night for the WWE on the road to WrestleMania. Let's get on.
Right now, obviously, one, I think it's perfectly acceptable for Americans to be pissed that all these Canucks are booing our national anthem. I think it's perfectly acceptable. But also, this is at a WWE event. Right? There's a little bit of playing to the crowd. There's a little bit of heel. There's a little bit of face action everywhere you look, right? So this is in a WWE setting. Well, Pat McAfee then, a lot of Canadians were very mad that he called them a terrible country right after you booed our national anthem. And one worm has crawled out to demand that they fire, that ESPN fire Pat McAfee for his WWE performance. And that is, of course, Keith Olbermann, who's been fired by ESPN a couple times himself at this point. But now Keith Olbermann has demanded that ESPN take action. Keith Olbermann demands ESPN fire Pat McAfee for calling Canada a terrible country. And you can see this absolute lunatic spurg out on Twitter. A lot of us tried to warn the new ESPN management that the day would come when this idiot would draw them into a permanent political controversy and they could either be subsumed by it or fire him. That day is today. Fire him. And Keith Olbermann with his, how many does he have? 1 million. Sorry, almost 1 million Twitter followers could get all of 428 likes on this. Rather pathetic, to be honest with you. But this is Pat McAfee, commenting after the fact. Pat McAfee went out there and, had a statement after so many Canadians were pissed at him. He went and spoke his mind. He didn't really give an apology, but he just said, look, when I hear, we'll let him speak for himself. He says, when I hear someone boo my national anthem, I want to fight that person. Doesn't mean I think all Canadians are terrible, stuff like that. We'll let him speak for a little while.
There's been some things said to me from Canadians that I guess I respect, because of the passion that you have for your country, which I hope you understand that I was showing the same for mine. You booed my country. Now, I heard from a lot of Canadians during the national anthem, obviously, the Rogers Center, overwhelming boo. I mean, very loud boo. First reaction whenever a national anthem starts up there was for some of these Canadians just to start booing, and I'm like, what? Okay. My entire life, my first reaction when somebody boos the national anthem is, fuck you.
Yeah.
Okay, that is mine. I'm very thankful that I am from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, in the United States of America. I'm very proud that I am from the United States of America. And is everything perfect? Absolutely not. But my dad went from being a truck driver to a millionaire because he taught his son a work ethic and that anything is possible on this land here in the United States. Now, I know.
And he would go on to say, listen, I respect it. You calling me out. You love your country. I love my country. You booed my national anthem. I called your country terrible. Let's shake hands and move on. It wasn't really an apology. It was more just kind of clarification from Pat McAfee. But the idea that ESPN would fire Pat McAfee over this is quite frankly ridiculous and ludicrous, especially the idea that Keith Olbermann, of all people, is talking about a permanent political controversy being started by someone else. Keith Olbermann is saying that. The dude who has insane TDS, the dude who can't keep politics out of his mouth, even when he is supposed to be talking about sports, the dude who's already been fired by ESPN. And this is nothing. Pat McAfee's comments are no controversy for ESPN compared to some of the things that people still employed by that company say on a daily basis on their platform. It's absolutely insane. It's ludicrous. I respect what Pat McAfee said. And again, just the way Canadians booing the national anthem isn't necessarily indicative that they hate every single individual American. Pat McAfee saying you're a terrible country isn't necessarily indicative that he hates every single Canadian. There's a lot of friction right now, but it's absolutely hilarious. I think it was great, especially in that WWE setting, for Pat McAfee to stand up and do something like that. And there's no way that ESPN would fire him like they fired you, Keith Olbermann, for something like this. What do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comments section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.